got one. It's the drive.
That's it. I want to make sure we know what's here.
About right there, and then
We'll just hold one.
yeah, just here.
Okay, good morning. Great to see a pretty full media center here today at Watkins Glen, and that's great to see. Appreciate everybody coming out, and a lot of new faces, a lot of familiar faces, but
Who are the new faces? Can you pick them out?
several. But
Okay. Do you know their names?
I will by the end of the weekend.
All right, nice.
End of the weekend, but.
All right.
AJ Allmendinger is kind enough to join us, and he drives the number 47 Scott Products Chevrolet. And AJ, good news coming out this week. Primary sponsor Kimberly Clark, I believe, is extended 2 years.
3 years.
3 years, that's right, 3
through
years.
2017.
2017. We'll talk about that. They are a great sponsor in our sport. And
Yeah.
Just talk about that relationship.
Yeah, I mean, it's cool. I really like the direction that our race team's going. Earlier we had announced that Kingsford and Clorox was back for another 3 years, and now to have the Kimberly Clark brands with Scott Products, especially on a race car, and all their other brands that help promote our sport and help promote our race team. So, Tad works hard, and Brad and Jody to keep these great partnerships that we have, and they've had a long-standing partnership with this race team, and they're on our car this weekend. So hopefully, with the good news, we get some good vibes and momentum, and we come here this weekend and have a great weekend. So the cool thing is they do so much for help promoting for not just the sport and our race team, but for the fans. Last year they gave away a car, and this year they're doing 2 full bathroom makeovers. So if you're a messy person in your bathroom there, man, you can get in on that. RacingRewards.com, Racing-Rewards. Just go sign up. Scott Brand, I've heard you're a messy guy, so if you need to get your bathroom cleaned up,
Well,
you can sign up for that.
I can vouch for that.
Yeah.
I
Especially
can't-
you, Reed.
Exactly. But AJ's on a roll, so let's get right into it. I'm going to ask you first off the bat before we go to Dean McNulty here from Toronto. Obviously, road course here, and we've got 5 to go before we establish the chase grid, and certainly just look at it from your perspective. Obviously, you want to get to victory lane.
Yeah, I mean, when it comes to the chase side of it, it'd be great for to be in the chase because it meant we won. So, that's the only way we're going to get in. When it comes to making the chase to win a championship, with our race team right now, I'm not sure that we're quite in that realm of saying if we make the chase, we can go win the championship. Anything can happen, but I think to come here and if we were to win, to get into the chase would just be great for all of our sponsors and this race team, and to help keep building the race team and promoting it. So that's why I look at it. I don't look at to make the chase to make the championship, but when it comes to this weekend, I feel like after our test here a couple of weeks ago, we had a really good test, and I feel like we do the right things, we can be in contention to win the race, but I don't want to make it all or nothing. If we don't win and we have a great top 5, top 3 run, but we don't win, I don't want that to be a disappointing weekend. So, but like I said, I think if we do the right things, kind of like at Sonoma, we had a good shot to win that race. We'll have good speed in the race car, I believe. So, we'll see what happens.
We'll go to Dean McNulty right here. If you could state your name and affiliation, and we'll take questions now for AJ. Go ahead, Dean.
Dean McNulty, Toronto Sun.
Oh, it's still in Toronto. I thought maybe you went to like Brazil or somewhere. You're back, man. That's nice. I like it.
Yeah, you haven't been back to Toronto for a while anyway. But the question is...
Well, I won the last time there, so I felt like, if I go back, it's just a downfall from there, You leave on a high note.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Anyway, when you tested up here, you were testing, I believe, a second under the track record. Were the conditions similar to what they're going to be this weekend?
No, it'll be warmer. The test here rained the first day, and the second day was fairly cool, high 60s, low 70s. So I don't think the track will be as fast as what it was. I still think we can possibly be under the track record. So, the conditions are going to be a little different, and the car's going to be just through the heat of the racetrack. And, as we see, if we watch nationwide practice right now, cars laying oil down and stuff like that, the track will be a little bit slicker. But, the main thing for our test was to really just make the box a lot smaller. So when we got here, we didn't have to throw big things at it and hope to make a big difference. I felt like we really shortened the box in our race car to what we need to try just little stuff for throughout the weekend to keep up with the racetrack. So for that reason, I thought it was a successful test.
Let's go to Reed, and then the gentleman right here. You're going to have to give me your name here in a second. But
That's one of the new people, huh?
well, no, he's not.
no.
But my names go together here. Go ahead, Reed.
Reed Spencer with NASCAR Wire Service. With the sponsorship deals in place pretty much for the next 3 years, where do you think the team basically needs to improve? What are the areas that you see that differentiate you from the guys that are running consistently top 5, top 10 every week?
Yeah, I mean, they're not all set yet. Tad's out there continually trying to work on finding sponsorship, really help building the race team. It doesn't hurt. The more money you find, the more it's going to help with the resources of the race team. So he's working hard on that. I know this whole week he's been out there trying to help sell and find more money for the race team. But, I think we just got to continually grow. Being a one-car race team, you're always going to be behind. Having the RCR Alliance has been a big help. I think for going into this year, we knew this was going to be probably the most challenging year when it came to starting together, just learning each other at the same point with the new rules, the ride height rules. I think not only us, but RCR as a whole has been trying to search to figure out what package we need to run. Last weekend at Pocono, I really felt like for the bigger racetracks, was the first time we actually hit on a package that we can make more of a baseline. Every weekend we've been trying something, and one week we thought we hit on it, the next week we'd show up to a racetrack and we'd be way off. So I think it's just as we add more resources and Tad continually goes out there and tries to find more money for us, and Brad does the same thing, that's going to help. But I think just trying to keep updating our cars. Last week, unfortunately, was a fairly brand new car, and now it's not. So we got to go get that reclipped. But just things like that. There's not one spot that I say, oh, this is it, and we're going to make the race team a top 5 race team from that. It's just working hard, and when you're a small team, everybody's got to work that much harder. So I like the direction we're going, as I said, but as Tad keeps reminding me, it's a process. This isn't a one-year deal. It's a long-term deal. As you know me, I'm not a big fan of being patient. So I'm working on that. He keeps trying to teach me that every week, whether it's on the golf course or on the racetrack. So I really enjoy the race team. The results, to a certain degree, of just it's kind of gutted us a little bit, but that's the way the sport is. You can have great runs and not get rewarded for it, and hopefully that turns around. And we come here this weekend, we win the race. None of the results matter at that point. We're we're where we want to be. So it's enjoyable, but it's a lot of hard work at the same point.
Let's go to the gentleman right here, Lee, and then to Steve.
Joe Jennings, motorsport.com.
Hey, man.
AJ, this is sort of a worn-out question, but it comes up at least twice a year. Would you like to see a road course included in the chase, and if so, would it be among the 2 that are run now, or add others be considered?
Whether it's got to be in the chase or not, I don't know. I'd like to see a couple more, just in the mere fact I think it's great racing. And I think for the longest time, I felt like in the sport, people kind of looked at it like, these 2 races, it's not great racing, we'll kind of do them and get them over with. And now whether it's the nationwide race or, even the truck race at Mossport last year or the Cup races, it's great racing. And I think the fans enjoy it. We get such a big crowd here. Sonoma, we always have a big crowd. If you go to like Mid-Ohio, Road America for the nationwide races, they get huge crowds. So I think the fans are really starting to enjoy road course racing. And just for that reason, and obviously being biased towards loving road course racing, I'd love to have a couple more on the schedule. It'd be cool if it was in the chase, just because I think it'd add a different element. But in general, I think we just need a couple more. And we have a lot. I mean, nationwide, they already go to a couple of great places. There's a lot of great venues out there that could host one, and we'd have some great racing on them.
Let's go to Lee. Misspoke. Stan, and then Steve. Go ahead, Lee.
Lee Spencer, motorsport.com. talk a little bit about your relationship with RCR. What, to the extent of the back and forth, do you all share right now?
It's everything, and that's what's been great about Richard and his organization. From the moment we started this kind of late December, he kind of opened the doors to his shop to us, just whatever we need. So we get live updates throughout practice, and over the course of during the week, race weekends, we pretty much get everything that they're doing. You know, some of our, really where we lack a little bit is trying to keep up with it. You know, just having the resources and the manpower to keep up with everything. All the info that we're getting, it's something that we struggle with a little bit. So do we use it to its fullest extent? Probably not right now, because we're just a little bit behind. But Richard's been fantastic, and everybody in that organization, Eric Warren, everybody on down. Motor-wise, you know, it's not like I feel like we're a step behind compared to the RCR cars in general. I mean, we're equal with everything. So it's been a great partnership, and Richard himself has just been so great about it. So, you know, I think, like I said, part of it is just the whole organization's been searching for a direction to go with this new package. Over the last few weeks, I feel like they've gotten better, and all the cars have ran just a little bit better. So, you know, hopefully, whether we're in the chase or not or whatever, we can just use these last 15, 16 races just to kind of keep building on and head into next year with a better direction.
Real quick, talking about the schedule and stuff. In the past, you have run the double weekends in IndyCar. I mean, not your best effort.
Hey, let's not relive that.
But just knowing the logistics and what goes on, you know, in an experience like that, would you ever advocate that NASCAR look at something where we would run 2 weekends or 2 races in 1 weekend, because at least we have the cars? I mean, I don't even, you know.
We need more races? Is that where you're at?
I'm just saying, would you be in favor of shortening the schedule and running maybe 2 Cup races in 1 weekend as opposed to going, you know, 40 weeks a year?
No, I mean, I look at it not really, because you want to make that race weekend, to me at least, whatever day it is, Saturday night or Sunday, you know, the big race being there, you know, not just you know, we have one on Saturday, one on Sunday, and you know, both are equal points and et cetera. So, you know, I think we could shorten the weekends a little bit to a certain degree at some of these places, and you know, make more action on the racetrack and things like that to keep the weekend constantly going, and for the fans have something going on all the time. But no, I don't, you know, double weekends are cool for some series. I don't know if it would be for this series.
We'll go to stands.
Unless we want to race 2 here. I'll race tomorrow and Sunday here if we want to do 2 Cup races. Let's do that.
We'll go to
Can we do that? Can we talk to some? No?
Not this
Okay.
weekend.
All right.
Let's go to Stan, Steve, and then Woody. Stan, raise your hand there.
Hi, Stan Creekmore with RPMTonight.com. AJ, number one, I applaud you for being so candid in some of your statements. What is the biggest goal on your end that you have achieved this year with this organization? And number two, forget the chase. What would be the biggest move forward for this organization this year?
That's a good question, actually. I don't know if we've had our defining moment yet this year. We've had some good runs. You know, Sonoma, I felt like we did everything right to have a chance to win the race, and it just wasn't meant to be, and it didn't work out. But I was thrilled with the way the team went into that weekend, and everybody had their head down, and we did the job. You know, I felt like every practice session we were one of the top 2 cars out there, and we qualified like it. We led the most laps. So that was really cool. And Sonoma, honestly, has never been, especially out of this track and there, Sonoma's always been my weaker racetrack out of the 2. So to go there and be that fast was really cool. You know, Martinsville, we had a great race car. Fontana, which is the place that I haven't been the best at times. You know, we had top 10 all day. So we've had some good moments, but a defining moment to say that's our best moment, we haven't had it yet. You know, hopefully it's this weekend. And, you know, looking forward, I think just going through the rest of the year and getting to Homestead and finishing the race there and say, you know what, we are at our best right now, and we're better, way better than what we started, and we're way better than what the middle of the season was. That to me is a success. And wherever that puts us in points, you know, I feel like, and it's, you know, you can all, it's cliche to say, you know, oh, we're 25th in points, but I feel like we're better than that. I do believe that we are, but the points say what we are. So to me, at this moment, I try not to look at the points is what defines us. I feel like we've had a lot better runs over the last couple of months. It doesn't show it when it comes to results, but just getting better as the year goes on and being at our best when we get to Homestead and having something to turn around and say, okay, this is what we can build off of and go into Daytona.
Steve Richards, Woody Kane, and then Brant James.
Steve Richards with PRN. AJ, you've had some really good runs here, and a win is a possibility. If with the chase at stake, if you find yourself in second place on the last lap, what will you do to win?
I mean, that's simple. I mean, I'll do whatever it takes. But at the same point, you race people how they race you, you know, and that sets that sets the idea of how you're going to race that person throughout the course of a race, you know. But when it comes down to the end, having a shot to win this race, you know, and I've been doing this for a while, and it's a tough sport. Unless you're Jimmy Johnson or somebody like that, you don't get that many opportunities to win a race. So, you know, I'll whatever I have to do to win it. But, you know, I'll be the first one to say I don't want to win it in controversy either. You know, I want to go outright and say, you know, I earned that win and you know, I want it the right way. But if I have to stray a little bit, I will.
What's a little bit?
I mean, I won't. And it's the same thing in Martinsville with Ryan Newman. You know, I won't come barreling in the corner and outright just crash the guy on purpose and just say I won the race because of that. But, you know, if he's got to be moved out of the way or whatever, I'm going to do it. But like I said, it's also set by the idea of how they race me during the race and over the last how many years. As drivers, we all have the people that we know who race us cleaner and who race us harder. And we have that list. And who we owe and who we have to pay back as well. So
Let's go to Woody Kane, Brant James, Dustin Long.
Woody Kane with MRN. AJ, I'm just curious your thoughts about the qualifying format at a road course, the new format. You did really well with it at Sonoma, and how you think it might play out today. A lot like Sonoma or a little different, or what do you think?
Well, Sonoma didn't play out very well because I was the quickest after the first run. Everybody went out there and went quicker. So the old format would have been great. But, no, I think it's fun. And, you know, here, to me, the tires don't wear off quite as quick. So, but it honestly surprised me everywhere we go. There's so many places where I thought, oh, you're going to get one run at it, and tires are going to go off. And we see it every weekend. Guys go back out the second run, third run, and they get quicker. So I think it's going to play out a little bit the same. To a certain degree, Sonoma, because it's a little bit slower and guys can kind of get, although it's hard to get out of the way there as well, but here it's so high speed everywhere, so there may be a little bit more traffic, especially that first grouping. So to get a clean lap is going to be really important because whether you're shutting your car off coasting or you're trying to ease out of the pits and not use your tires up on the out lap and you got somebody on a hot lap, you don't want to get held up. So I think the first group is going to be a little interesting on how you get your clean lap, but I think it's going to play out just the same. You know, you get out there and you're going to have a couple opportunities to get everything you can.
Go to Brant James, Dustin Long, Alan Cabana.
Brant James, ESPN.com. Taking into account where you are in points and that a win gets you in the chase, is there any sort of mischievous pleasure in how nervous, like you and Marcus Ambrose must be making the guys that are right on the edge of the chase grid on points?
You know, I don't even think about it. We all know the format. You know, whether you're 25th in points right now or you're a guy like Casey or Austin or somebody that's right on the edge. You know, it is what it is. You know, we just got to go out there and you know, I've went into this whole week and you know, waking up this morning thinking about, you know, possibility of winning, but you can't get locked in on it. You got to go through the whole process. You know, I went to Sonoma. I woke up Sunday morning thinking, you know, we really got a shot at this thing if everything works out right. There's a lot that has to work out right, though. So I don't even think about it. You know, I'll take it as it comes. And like I said, I don't want it to define our race weekend. If we go there and we sit on pole and we lead all the laps and, you know, it just doesn't work out and we finish third. And I don't want us to walk away and say, well, that's disappointing. You know, that's still a great race weekend for our team. But we'll just see how it plays out and what happens when we get that opportunity.
Let's go to Dustin, Allen, and we'll finish with gentleman back there in the back before we hear from Marcos. Go ahead.
Dustin Long, MRN.com. AJ, the last 3 years of this track, for as much balance in the competition there has been, it's been essentially the same three guys battling for the win. You don't always see that at a lot of tracks. What is it? Why is it? Has it been Marcos, Brad, and Kyle? You know, the last 3 years, those are the three guys on the last lap essentially battling.
They're really good. Yeah, it makes it a lot easier. They're you know, it's just a feel around this place. You know, but it's also it's the way strategy works out. I mean, it can be really strange sometimes. You know, I felt like you know, the previous 2 years that Marcus won, maybe he wasn't the quickest car, and it worked out to his favor to where, you know, the first year, you know, I think Kyle made a mistake on the restart and he got around him, and then the next year with the whole Brad and Kyle incident, you know, and last year was probably the race he should have won and had everybody dominated, and fuel played into a strategy there. So, but it's just a feel around this place. You know, they got really good feel, and each of them know what they want in a car to go fast. Each of them know what they want in a car to be there at the end, and it's also the way the races play out. But you know, there's so many people in this field that I feel like have a shot to win. You know, I think because of those three, it's kind of funny to me that people don't really talk about Jeff or Tony, you know, the guys that have used to dominate this racetrack. They can still show up, and especially with the year with Jeff's having, he can show up and dominate this weekend, and Tony needs to win as well. So there's a lot that can happen, but those guys got a good feel of what they want. And, you know, I know Brad, especially, you know, when I was teamed up with him, said he just really likes the feel of this place and what he knows in the race car. So it helps a lot. But, you know, with the new rules, it could be a little bit different, could be the same. Hopefully I cause a problem for him.
Final two questions, Alan, and then the gentleman there in the back.
Alan Cavana, NASCAR.com. We were talking about driver aggression. You're a little more even-keeled than I thought you'd be, but are you any more worried about the drivers?
I just fake it. Yeah.
The drivers maybe coming up behind you who aren't as even-keeled and want to get to the front on a race weekend like this where a win means so much. Drivers trying to get past you. Are you any more on edge about that?
No. I mean, we all drive like idiots out there most of the time, honestly. So, you know, whether, and it's funny with this format now, because whether you got your Dale Jr. or somebody like that, or Jeff or Jimmy, the guys that are locked in, they got nothing to worry about, so they can take all the risks that they want, and the guys that are on the edge, or you know, the people, you know, like myself and Marcus, that we know we need to win to get in, we're all going to drive aggressive. But it's no different than any other weekend. Guys are going to do what it has to do to go win the race. Guys are going to do what they have to do to move you out of the way to get that spot. So to me, it's no different. You know, all I can do is go out there and try to make no mistakes or limit my mistakes. And that's kind of the same thing like Sonoma. I went out there and I felt like I drove as good as I could, and the best I've ever driven at Sonoma, and handled the race the best I ever could. And, you know, we had an incident. I don't feel like that I made any mistakes there, but it wasn't meant to be. That's all I can do is go out there and control myself. And, you know, I'm more mad after a race if I know that I didn't maximize myself during the race weekend or the race itself. If I get wrecked or something, then it is what it is.
Final question. Raise your hand there, please.
Hi, AJ. Tyler Burnett, MRN. Go to Michigan next week. Talk about the speed.
I'm going to miss you too. Oh, man.
Talk about the speed for the first time going there earlier in the season, and then what you're expecting going back to Michigan.
I mean, it's just a fast racetrack. You know, if the weather's really cool there, practice and qualifying, it's insane fast. I mean, how fast these cars go at a lot of these places now, but especially Michigan, especially if it's cool and there's a lot of grip in the racetrack. To me, it's just crazy just how fast it feels. I mean, a lot of these places, it all kind of, to me, blends in like, oh, yeah, the speed is relative and it is what it is, but Michigan, you feel how fast you're going, and when that car gets loose, you know if something happens, it's going to be big. And that place, like a lot of these repaves in general, when the race starts, whether it's cool out or it gets warmer, whatever, just sitting there all day before the race, man, we drop the green and the track is slick, and it's way different. The pace is way slower than it was in practice, and that to me, especially with the repaves, is what makes it so hard to set the car up for, and it's confused me a few times this year, just going, okay, the pace is going to slow down 2 seconds. I think this is going to happen, and you drop the green, and the track's still way different and way slicker than you expected. So to me, that's what makes the place so tough. It's fast in practice and qualifying. In the race, it's still fast, but no matter the weather, it seems always a lot slicker just from sitting there all afternoon and getting ready to race.
AJ, thanks for coming in.
Guys.
Congratulations on the sponsorship news, and good luck this weekend.
Thanks for your excitement, too, man.
You betcha.
You're really bringing the heat.
I am.